Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Kingdom Death Monster with the Sunflower Field. So, let's go ahead and go through our settlement phase, as always. We had 4 survivors return, one of them is a tinker, and we have at least 10 population for the for our principal. What's it called? Collective Toil. So we're up to 6 endeavors, which is we're going to need all of them. And we go up a lantern year, so let's go ahead and do that. Copy. So we're now on year 7. Phoenix Feather and Bone Witch. Alright, so let's take care of all that. So Phoenix Feather first. Story events. I'll grab my book in a second just to make sure it's the same. Here's the image. It's a big ass feather, and it's glowing. That guy's just so amazed. And then Phoenix Feather here. And just give me a moment, I'm grabbing my book. Alright, Phoenix Feather, Phoenix Feather, okay. A fallen feather fills the settlement with dread. The skies bubble and murmur as a dark presence tears through the atmosphere like a negative lightning bolt, sucking the air and energy from all who gaze upon it. A light rain begins. The survivors turn their eyes up to see a huge, iridescent feather slowly floating toward the ground. Their lantern light reflects strange rainbows off the twisting feather. A primal fear takes root in the settlement. You may now hunt the phoenix. Added to the quarry list on the settlement record sheet, nominate a single survivor to speak. They gain +1 courage and add break the silence. Alright. So, I have to nominate a survivor. I'm just taking a look at a few things. Tail Feather. Crazed Hoarder. +2 insanity. Okay, seems to be about right. Alright. Yeah, it seems to be the same. So I need to pick somebody. Anyone close to getting what they need for courage? The answer is probably no. Usually it's like an all or nothing thing for a lot of our courage people. Give me a moment and I'll see if there's anyone. Alright. Kamachi will be the one that breaks the silence. So I'll give her +1 courage, which is going to give her matchmaker and trigger bold. So I take care of that first. So I roll 1d10. 9. Not a bad roll. So 9 on bold down here gets +1 permanent strength. So Kamachi now has 3 strength. Next, I roll 1d10 for her. 3. Could have been a lot worse. Alright. Survivor shoos everyone away from the feather. Alone in the rain, they'd examine it. The nominated survivor gains +1 understanding in the tail feather phoenix resource. Okay, so with that, she gets +1 understanding, which brings her up to 5. And the tail feather. So one thing I guess to note about the phoenix feather is with survival of the fittest, you actually get a few other options with 4 and 5 if you roll those. Essentially, you can get +1 permanent evasion and honorable disorder, which be kind of interesting. Usually, if you roll really high, though, you generally get crazed and hoarder, and another +1 courage. Hoarder is kind of interesting because it gets you a lot of courage, but it eats up resources like crazy. But it is what it is. So first, I'm going to grab the phoenix feather, or the tail feather rather, which counts as a hide. So yeah, tail feather. What happened? Why am I lagging? I am lagging. Oh boy. Yeah, don't do that. Don't whatever I clicked, undo it. All right. Let's try that again. Did it not work? Why is it not working? Oh boy, I just spawned like 3 feathers. Alright. Yeah, this thing's like lagging like crazy for some reason. In any case, dragging it out, I'll zoom in real quick just to show it. Tail feather counts as a hide, lighter than air, and we can now hunt phoenixes. Phoenixes are pretty tough, and then you generally want to send people that have at least a little bit of experience, because else you'd be unaged out of existence as opposed to aged out of existence. Also, Phoenix is the only quarry that we can hunt that does double actions. It does a basic action and regular AI action. So it's definitely very, very dangerous. Alright, next event. We need to do the Bone Witch. Bone Witch is completely different now. It used to be this. Essentially, it was really, really bad. Everyone that was insane, that was a returning survivor, had to automatically endeavor here. Now it's a lot different. So I'm just going to read it. Just ignore all this. It's a lot more different. So it's actually not too bad anymore. That's why I don't mind getting it. I'll show the image off. Has some nudity, but yeah. Essentially, this is Hina. She came back, and she's saying hi now. So I'll go ahead and read what Bone Witch does now. Like I said, 1.5 made it better. Also, since we're not going to probably ever get a savior with this build, I will say that saviors have been sort of nerfed, but they have also been made a little bit better as well. They have essentially, like, instead of being just rather powerful and aging very quickly, now they don't age as fast. They still age faster, but not as fast, and they essentially have special abilities that they can voluntarily trigger, and those age them faster. So they're kind of interesting. Anyway. Bone Witch. One day, the exile emerged from the darkness. The settlement worried at the sound of her wailing chants. Everyone feared what mystery kept her alive in the darkness all these years. Some could not resist asking. All non-death returning survivor gained 3 insanity. So, also, you might notice I'm not complaining about my mouse as much. I actually have a new mouse. I went ahead and got a wireless mouse, and hopefully the only thing that's awkward now is I used to have to compensate, expecting my mouse to double click, and I'm kind of unteaching myself to not do that anymore. But so far it's been working pretty well, but I literally got it today, so we'll see how long it lasts. Anyway, the most insane returning survivor, or survivors in case of a tie, is inexorably drawn to the Bone Witch and must endeavor at the Witch Camp. Otherwise, during the settlement phase, any survivor may endeavor at the Witch Camp if they choose. So I have to use one. So I'll do one right now. And I have to roll 1d10. This is with Uns on, because he is the most insane. So 1d10. Okay. So if you roll, I'll go ahead and I'll read, I'll kind of summarize what all of them do now. If you roll a 1 and a 2, which are the worst ones, the Bone Witch will essentially, they'll either, you have to either spend 3 endeavors, essentially, she will try to kill the person, and you can spend 3 endeavors to save her. Otherwise, the person dies horribly, and all departing survivors will suffer. They'll lose 2 survival and gain 3 insanity, and it adds the Bone Witch back onto the timeline. 3 and 4 is one that's still kind of similar to what it was in the previous one. It's roll. In this one, she essentially rips out one of the eyes. And essentially, if you get this result with a missing eye already, or with this effect already, you'll die. But the first time it happens, you roll 1d5, and you get minus X permanent accuracy plus X permanent strength, where X is what you rolled. So you can get anywhere from minus 1 accuracy plus 1 strength to minus 5 accuracy and plus 5 strength. So you won't be able to hit anything, but you'll hit really hard. That used to actually add the Bone Witch back onto the timeline as well. And since before it forced you to spend all your endeavors with the returning survivors, it was pretty brutal. Some tricks that people have done to avoid the Bone Witch previously was they would just let their hunters die, and just let the hunt be a wash. And that will end up ensuring that no returning survivors endeavor there, and so the witch just goes away. 5 through 7 is an opportunity to get extra sense fighting art at the cost of, it used to be a roll to see how many bones you had to give. Yeah, it used to be 1d5 bones, now it's just 1 bone. So it's a lot better, and honestly quite worth it. Extra sense is one of the few fighting arts that is definitely worth spending resources for, because it's just that good. And then 8 through 10 is... Yeah, it gives you, was it originally gave you +2 insanity, 1 understanding, and then the +5 to your runaway story event rolls, which is awful because one, you have to unlock runaway through innovations first. What it does now is it's +2 insanity, +1 understanding, and the Bone Whisperer secret fighting art. Also, if you have roll a nat 10, you have the guidepost. It does some changes as well. Actually, I think it does the exact same thing. You pay 1 bone, you can get 4 survivors to the monster claw fighting style. Any case, we rolled a 9, I believe, so that gets us the +2 insanity, bringing him to 11. +1 understanding, which brings him up to 4 understanding, and he's going to get the secret fighting art, the Bone Whisperer, which is a new one for 1.5. So, fighting arts, secret fighting art, Bone Whisperer. When another survivor dies on the showdown board, place a token where they died. If you pass over it, remove the token and eat their skull. Heal your survivor and roll 1d10 plus your hunt experience. 1 through 3, you feel amazing. Gain +1 permanent movement, speed, and evasion. 4 through 8, gain +1 permanent strength. 9 through 18, gain a fighting art and +5 survival. And then 19 plus, you run away into exile. At the end of the showdown, you are gone forever. So, kind of interesting. So he gets Bone Whisperer. Bone Whisperer. I'm going to go ahead and reset tokens because we don't need them anymore. And then, so that takes care of that. We had to use an Endeavor, but that's okay. Could have been a lot worse. So that takes care of Bone Witch, and she's not going to come back unless we get some sort of event that triggers her. So, good to go on that. Next, I will go ahead and spend an Endeavor to... Yeah, I'll go ahead and spend an Endeavor to go ahead and do Innovation. So, we'll spend the... I'm probably going to go ahead and spend the Tail Feathers. I don't plan on holding on to them. So, Tail Feathers. So that's the hide. 1 bone. And has to be the wild card. I need the love juice. Alright, so... And then we draw 2 cards from the Innovation deck. It does have Ammonia in there somewhere, but it's in 12 cards, so good luck. We got Paint and Clan of Death. So Paint would get us Dash, which is really good to have. Clan of Death would get us... All newborns would get +1 accuracy, +1 strength, +1 evasion. We are taking Clan of Death. It's just that good. It also would reduce our card deck by 1. So that's good. So... There's no consequences for this. This is literally the end of the family line, branch. So we're good to go. So we got Clan of Death, and I'm kind of glad I did that first, just so I can hopefully get some newborns that have insanely good stats. So that takes care of that. We have 4 Endeavors left. I'm gonna go ahead and spend the Love Juice first. It's going to be Unzon. He has no reroll. It'll be Unzon and we'll say Unzon and Sawaku. So we'll roll 2d10 for them and see what happens. 2d10. Okay, well there's the nat 1. I'll need to go and open Sawaku. I'm going to use her reroll. So now she has no reroll. And reroll that 10. Or reroll that 1, not the 10. 1d10. 7. Okay. So the good news is no one died. So let's do that. Intimacy 7 is, if we had beds, we would have gotten some extra stuff. +1 population, the male and survivor share a deep bond and gain +10 survival each. So he goes back up to max, and Sawaku will go up to max. Alright. And then I need to... Is anyone being worked on? I think we're doing Legacy Lunatic Kingdom. In fact, we should set that to green to show that that is the one I'm working on. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 left in it. So 1d6. We keep rolling 1s. At this point, we might as well just go down the list. Alright, so we get Ringo. So we have Ringo now, and she's going to have the following. She's going to have +1 accuracy, +2 strength and evasion, +1 understanding, 1 survival, and a reroll. Also, because of the family innovation that we have, I can have her take the proficiency of club and give 1/2 of the proficiency bonus. Now, that's 0, but she gets to take club proficiency at age level 0. So, club proficiency 0. Alright. So yeah, that's significant. That +2 strength and +2 evasion is amazing, as well as the accuracy. So we probably definitely want to get her up and running as soon as possible. Alright, so that takes care of the love juice. So we're down to hides and bones and some scrap, which isn't terrible. Alright, so the question is what do I make? I mean, I can start trying to make a white lion set, but I already explained I don't exactly like. Oh, I forgot to do the settlement event. I completely forgot to do settlement event. I apologize. I should have done that before the story events. Shuffle, shuffle. What do I get? Stranger in the dark. Let's roll 1d10. I'll just take whatever roll I get right now. 4. The stranger is a playful woman of unparalleled beauty, clad in what appears to be living tongues. The men of the settlement are instantly captivated, while the women are filled with jealousy and suspicion. Eventually chasing the stranger away, male survivors cannot depart the settlement phase as they are physically ill from love sickness. Departing female survivors gain +10 survival. If the settlement has the guidepost innovation, the stranger effortlessly plucks the lantern halberd from the ground as she is chased away. Archive guidepost. Okay. So yeah, some crazy succubus woman showed up, and we chased her off. Male survivors can't depart, so I'll just note that for Onzon and Renazuki. Not a big deal. And then everyone's going to get 10 departing survival, so I'll take care of that. So yeah, I completely forgot. You're supposed to do settlement event first, and then the rest of it. So honestly, some of these rolls should have been in a different order. I'm not going to worry about it right now, though. I think I'll just take what it is. Essentially, I would have gotten 9, I think. It would have been 9-3, yeah. It would have been just some weird mess. It would have been, yeah. I'm just going to take it as it. Like I said, I apologize. Anyway, so that was Stranger in the Dark. We can't depart with Unzon now, which kind of sucks. Alright, anyway, back to what I was doing. So what can we craft? Settlement locations. Yeah, I really don't want to work on the White Lion set. Especially the Kingsman has effects that make it so heavy, just ruins you. I don't exactly want to go another Rawhide set, though, because that's kind of wasteful, too. What would I need to make? What would I need for scrap smelting? Organs. Okay, that ain't happening. Can't do anything here. I can't do Harbor's Ritual because I don't have Forbidden Dance. I don't have Symposium, so I can't do that. I don't have any Great Cat Bones, so I can't do any of that either. It's just kind of a big mess, isn't it? So do we have any organs? No, it's just hide and bone. That's all we have. So we can make some dried acanthus. Let's go ahead and do that. We can make 2 of them. I'll take care of those. So I got some dried acanthus. almost enough for everybody, or at least all the departing survivors. I can hold on to it. That is not the best. I guess I can hold on to the resources and just wait. I can make bandages, but those I don't really need those right now. Can't do rawhide whip because we don't have ammonia anymore. We don't have drums. Wait, do we have drums? No, we definitely don't have drums. If we had drums. Yeah, we definitely don't have drums, which, by the way, has a secret fighting art attached to it now, which makes it a lot better. Alright, so we'll go ahead and spend an endeavor to do Shrine. Get that out of the way. Always get that buff going. +1 insanity. So we got that. Alright. So yeah, it's just gonna be a mess. So I'll tell you what. Komachi doesn't have to skip next hunt anymore. Alright. So what I'll do is I'm gonna do 3 auguries. Just get that out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and have I'm gonna go ahead and have Ringo do all the auguries. So I'll roll these one at a time. I'm not gonna worry about the +1 survival, I don't need it. So 1d10. Okay, +1 survival, 1d10. Lose a resource and +1 understanding, and then 1 more. Okay, so I lose 2 resources and get +1 understanding, and no other intimacies. We're back up to 19 population, so there's that at least. Could be better, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, so that will put Ringo at... Oh, that puts her at 3 understanding. That puts her exactly at 3. So that'll actually trigger her inside event. That's going to get her Tinkerer, which is why I was doing it. So I'll go ahead and roll 1d10 to see what she gets for her inside event, which is 5, which is probably just going to be another endeavor. +1 endeavor this settlement phase. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just use it to do one more of those auguries. Yeah. So I'll do one more augury with her. It's going to be +1 because she now has 3 understanding. And that's just survival. Okay. So not the best result. Still can't get the 20 population. Also, I need to get rid of 2 resources. I'm going to get rid of... So a few things I want to get. I could go ahead and get another monster bone necklace. And those count as bone. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Scrap and bone. Gets us another War Monster Tooth necklace. I could put that with this set. Still can't get the necessary red tabs though. Alright. But it's still +1 strength, so that's better than nothing. And then we'll do it again. We'll go ahead and make another monster bone necklace. And then for the 2 resources, I'm just going to get rid of a lion tail and a white fur. I'll leave us with a shimmering mane and a white fur, which I'll just carry over for later. Alright. That'll bring us to... yeah, that'll bring us to essentially 3 resources left. And I'm just kind of seeing what I can do. So yeah, we need to make another monster bone necklace, so I'll do that now. Who will get it? I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't have multiples of the same thing. That's right. We'll just set it up here then. And then some Dracacanthus and Dracacanthus. Bit of a full inventory. Oh, actually, I can't have multiples of the same. It would actually go over here. Alright, not the end of the world. Inventory's getting a little full. That tends to happen when you're carrying a whole lot of founding stones. But yeah, I think that's it. So a bunch of +1 strengths, which is nice. As for who's going to depart, I obviously can't take Unzon because all males are currently lovesick. But we can definitely take Ringo, and she has glove proficiency, so I can go ahead and get her started on that. And hopefully she doesn't die from the fact she'll have no armor. And, well, she won't be insane is the problem. Yeah, she won't be insane. We'll send somebody else then. We'll figure it out. In any case, kind of seeing what we have right now. Yeah, I think I'll be departing the same people, just so I can get them leveled up and get their proficiencies going. And as for what we're going to hunt, it's going to have to be a light line. I have to try to get the ammonia. I have to maximize my chances of getting it. If we don't have it, it's not the end of the world as far as the Kingsman's concerned. Mainly because we have the Cat's Eye and the Founding Stones. With that combination, we might be able to pull something off. Because if he crit certain locations in the Kingsman, it becomes a lot easier. Otherwise, he's just going to be really, really brutal. The biggest issue is his trap card. If you don't have shields and he has a lot of wounds, it's going to just obliterate you. It's not pretty. But after the Kingsman, it's going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue until the Watcher. If we go up against the Watcher and we don't have leather, that means we literally have nothing to survive. Because really, the main thing you want from the leatherworkers, I mean, the leather set's really good. It protects you from bash. But the other thing is, obviously, you want to get shields, because that gives you another way of avoiding attacks. Also, apparently, my connection's been interrupted. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. I'm the Depressed Eeyore. This was Kingdom Death Monster for the Settlement Phase, Lantern Year 7, Sunflower Field. See you guys next time.